So I knew that any man I was going to get with, he was going to get better. It was no way he couldn't because I had too much knowledge.
She definitely a little full of herself.
Man,
And yeah, that's the only thing. You see, it's not her, this sister coming up here and talking like this and saying, she could have kind of created a successful man out of any man before she met her husband does not look good for him. This is not a good look for the man. Brother, why your woman coming up here and more or less, you heard that that's discredit. She's saying like Hove said, Jay-Z said you could if you created Hove, then make another Hove. She said she created another you. I beg to differ.
When I met this man, he had all of those qualifications besides the fact that I was making more money than him. I wasn't that excited about that in the beginning because I'm like, God, he from the streets. He loved God. He got business sense, but I make more money than him. He had stability. He had all his own stuff, but he just wasn't at the highlight of his career.
but she starts saying one fish, two fish stuff like from the streets, love God.
Well,
In most cases, that's a bit of a red flag right there.
she was letting you know. She said, "Y'all understand? His finances weren't where I liked it, but he had that street edge, and he was, he feared God. So she like this. She kind of had her build the bay, but the bread wasn't there. She said, "I found that man, but his bread ain't right." So that was her conundrum.
He had all of those qualifications besides the fact that I was making more money than him. I wasn't that excited about that in the beginning because I'm like, God, he from the streets. He loved God. He got business sense, but I make more money than him. He had stability. He had all his own stuff, but he just wasn't at the highlight of his career. And I'm glad I didn't look him over. A lot of women would have looked him over because women think men got to come done. They got to have the Lambo already. They got to have the Rollies. Like, they got to have it already done. But I understood the assignment. I knew I was a helpmate.
Okay, so here we go. She's dropping knowledge. Well, here we go. Two things is true because she could be spreading some misinformation by saying, take this man from the streets and build. Because in most cases, this ain't the end result. So she
No.
got to understand that this is probably maybe 10% of the men in the street, or you know what I mean. The percentages you're talking about, you don't
Yeah.
want to start playing because now these women do that, and they like, I'm gonna build him up. I kept giving him chance. They talk about this stuff,
I hope she
and
reiterates on that. Yeah, don't be so
asterisk
quick.
on that. For
Yeah,
sure.
don't be so quick to take a man from the streets. Yeah, that's it's a bit much just because you like the way he looking. And I'd imagine that's what she is hinting towards. She's like, y'all need to understand who I'm talking about. I got my thug boo, but he got business sense. I done found I done found my builder bay I've been looking for, but his bread just ain't right. So she's like, "Do I stick with him?" Golly, she was torn because of
Lucked
bread.
up though. She chose right and lucked up.
There you go. Kudos.
So as y'all always say, that good old female intuition. Y'all need to use it properly, maybe.
There
I don't
you
know.
go. If taking this at face value, she used it correctly.
So I knew that any man I was going to get with, he was going to get better. It was no way he couldn't because I had too much knowledge. I had too much. I'm like, I looked at him. I said, he got.
And that's where you missed me. If you were speaking to this man in particular, you said any man I was gonna get with. This was not the first man you had ever been with. So you gotta stop. It was
There
something
we go.
about maybe this man in particular, but you can't sit here and grandize yourself, Mother Sea Moss Goddess, and say, man, I would have gotten with, this would have been the result.
That is all captivation, captivity, pure
Got
cap.
to give him his flowers. It's kind of like an underhand
Yeah,
compliment to
yes,
him.
it is. Yeah, cause that's I was just gonna say that. Don't discredit this man's ambition. You just said he came from the street, but he had a businesses and he was ready to take on the world. Don't why are you gonna take that away from him? We've said it before. Every man does not have, he's not motivated for more. Every man is not motivated to shoot for the top 10, 5, 1%. That does not come standard. Ambition does not come standard in men. Stop that. That's not a thing. So that was the most cap she done said thus far. Is that any man she got with what's going to elevate to the level of this man. Don't discredit that man. And like Gavin said, if that was true, it's safe to say you would never came across this man because this ain't your first man, and you would have been build the bay. You'd have been built this bay before this guy. So the dots don't connect.
There we go. They like that.
The house, he got his own car. He was stable. He wasn't a bum. He just needed a little help.
See, the thing is, you had tools in your toolbox. You knew like what you was capable of. I don't think a lot of women can help a man get to the next level. So that's why they want a man done. They can't help him get there.
That's good. I like
Right?
that.
You can't help me get there.
It's because they put the value in their vagina. Like, they got tools too. They're just using the wrong tool. Like, you thinking because I'm sucking it and I'm spitting and I'm doing all these backflips and I'm bending over that I'm going to keep a man. That's not going to keep the man. He going to get the attention of the one he got to chase.
Every woman does not have said tools. We got to stop there.
Yeah,
all right. Because if we say that, that would say everybody's a wife, and we all know how we feel about that. That's false information.
yes.
It's only a small percentage of women got the tools. All
There
right.
you go.
Some of them use the tool incorrectly, but
Can't say all women's got the tools because all men ain't got the tools. It don't. It does not work like that. Come on now. But yeah, she definitely a little full of herself. And yeah, that's the only thing. You see, it's not her, this sister coming up here and talking like this and saying, she could have kind of created a successful man out of any man before she met her husband does not look good for him. This is not a good look for the man. Brother, why your woman coming up here and more or less, you heard this, that's discredit. She's saying like Hove said, Jay-Z said you could if you created Hove, then make another Hove. She said she created another you. I beg to differ.
you go. So yeah, this woman here, just like many modern women, they grandize themselves and queen of the universe. And there are men, like you seen on the panel, who sort of co-sign it sometimes. And he said, yeah, you are, everything you're saying you are. Most of these women ain't like you. Stop pandering so much, fellas.
The pander bear is in full effect. I love it. These pole pander brothers. And it's 100% of the time, ladies and gents, nug-nugs and bonquishas. Every time I see a brother pandering, I could see in the future a black pill just waiting on him. Is some woman waiting out there to break his turdy little panda bear heart and cheat on him and serve up that nasty barbed wire black pill. I swear to goodness, every time. Y'all seen that Beige Brothers sitting there pandering? Come on, man. Come on.